Hello and welcome back to another on Wrestling and to another edition of NXT Out of 10. And of course a big show today because it is the last episode of NXT before we go to NXT Deadline this weekend. And yeah, Dragunov and Corbin met face to face. We had the last chance qualifiers for the Iron Survivor Challenge, as well as much more on the show. And we started things off with the women's last chance: Perez versus James versus Hale versus Henley. And yeah, Perez and James took each other out in a match, leaving just Henley and Theo to get the victory. Henley pulled off one of the biggest wins of her career, laying out the Chase student with a running kick, a solid opener. All four women kept the pace moving. Perez and James were the focus points as their feud continues to escalate. Since those continue to get in each other's ways, the best answer to have this was Henley winning. She's a feud building with Tiffany and is ready for a big spotlight. She rounds out a solid, if unusual, field for the Women's Survivor Challenge. NXT is taking some chances, evaluating lesser known names over established stars. But for me, I'm not against that at all. I think that's exactly what NXT should be. And yeah, this was a really fun opener, tying into multiple storylines, and for me, the right winner. So yeah, I thought this was really good stuff. Wesley then came out with a crash to announce that he was out indefinitely with a back injury. And yeah, sounds like it could be 8 to 12 months, needing back surgery. So yeah, get well soon. That's pretty bad news. And yeah, obviously speedy recovery. Dirty Dom mocked him until Rey Mysterio told him his son would face Dragon Lee at Deadline. It's tough to see anyone injured, but this was especially poor timing for Lee, of course, who was going to retain his title probably. He will be missed in NXT, though he is ready for a main roster call up once healthy. And yeah, hopefully he gets the big push that he deserves. But Mysterio v Dragon is an improving matchup, but it does feel like Luchador is stepping backwards to take this angle. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see where this all goes. But yeah, such a shame. But moving on into Lola Vice versus Tatum Paxley. Paxley set Vice on the edge of her unusual behaviour, managed to take an early lead with leg submissions. However, Vice hit her hard until Paxley could not get her back up. NXT has finally found a role for Paxley that's allowing her to stand out. She's been a solid performer for a while, but lacked a spark. Her unwavering actions and obsession with Lyra should be fascinating to watch. While it may have been nice to see Paxley start this new gimmick with a win, Vice could not lose here, as she prepares to go for the breakout tournament and the Survivor. Neither woman stood out massively in this, which is a problem for the breakout winner. She still has not proved you can not compete in the top matches. So yeah, for that reason, I'm probably going to give this a 5 out of 10 alone. But moving on into Alpha Academy versus Metaphor. After Maxine Dupree took out the field outside the ring, including Lash, Chad Gable caught Noam on the Nova Roller. He turned it into an ankle lock, forcing a tap out. The boys and girls in this match came to work. This was a fun one, highlighted by big moments for the women. The comedy was on point, while everyone got a moment to shine. The right man won for his immediate story. Oro meant to try to save Dar, but the Scottish Supernova still fell to Gable, setting up a likely rematch for Heritage Cup. Alpha Academy fit well into the Raw area of NXT, and yeah, they thrived in this feud with Metaphor away from Raw. So yeah, this was good stuff. I really enjoyed it on the whole. I think, like I said, the right winner. Obviously, that Lash Legend open spot was brilliant as well. So yeah, on the whole, I thought this was really damn good stuff. We then got the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge Summit. Byron hosted it. He wanted to see Cena Seville, but finally Henry wanted to take an early shot at Tiffany. It broke out before all the women then destroyed the set. On the same night, Henry won her qualifier. She outside her future competition with a final promo that ended with a memorable yeehaw. Stratton is probably the favourite in the match, and it's hard to imagine legend or Kalani Jordan taking that from her. Blair Davenport might be the choice, but she also struggles with promos. That leaves Henley as a fascinating dark horse. No matter who walks out, everyone but the centre of the universe most definitely has something to prove in this match, and that leads to it making it intriguing. And yeah, this segment kind of broke down in a predictable way. But moving on into Nathan Fraser against Axiom, before they could truly get it rolling, the women of the Iron Survivor Challenge called crawling back, resulting in a no contest. Blair Davenport escaped the fray, but Nikita Lyons returned to lay out the woman who injured her, which was a brilliant spot. And yeah, that's going to be a very intriguing rivalry going forward. This was a waste of potential and time. Fraser v Axiom is always a great match. There was no reason to announce it. And yeah, end with this. But we're going to get it on the pre-show. For Deadline. Yeah, to be honest, I would kind of rather have seen it here and given time. But you know, let's see what they can do on the pre-show. It'll be great. But yeah, I think maybe we should have done the women's stuff during the segment before. But you know, it makes it feel chaotic. I can kind of understand it. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Before it's time for the men's Survivor qualifier, Hayes, Bate, Thorpe and Coffey. Joe sidelined Eddie by further hurting his injured ribs and steel sets and then knocking Carmelo with a Glasgow kiss. However, it's Tyler Bate who got the final shot, knocking out Coffey with a Tyler Drive 98 to get the win. The big strong boy promised to win the big one, which brought Dijak and Bron to disagree. Trick Williams arrived and a brawl broke out. The officials had to break up. This was a blast of energy. It's difficult to follow everything that happened throughout, but it didn't take away from the action too much. Bate was probably the right man to win. He's an exciting butcher and will keep the action moving. Thorpe was probably the other contender, but I think, yeah, that was really good stuff. And yeah, who should win it? I don't know. It's an interesting one, but I think yeah, Trick, Ron, Dijak, probably all in the mix. But yeah, let's wait till the predictions to discuss that. But yeah, moving on into the main event segment. Baron Corbin taunted Ilya to try and get him to stop. Instead, the Man Dragon hugged him and smiled. The show ended with the men's Iron Survivor Challenge brawling back to the ring, much like the women. Corbin and Dragunov nailed the short, focused promo for their match at the deadline. It felt rushed, potentially due to earlier matches going long, but the final image of a terrified Corbin staring at a grinning Mad Dragon was perfect. Corbin can't and probably won't win this. However, it's a chance for him to kind of show what he can do on a big stage. The chaotic end to the night was repetitive, giving all the recent brawls. However, that's NXT for you, and with the amount of stars on deadline, I definitely think it's going to be an interesting watch. And yeah, overall NXT this week gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Yeah, a chaotic kind of build up towards obviously deadline at the weekend, but I think in a way I enjoyed it. It's very NXT, isn't it? But I think, yeah, looking at the card, there's a lot to be intrigued by and to look forward to on the card. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it, I have to say, and it gets a 6 out of 10 from me. But anyway, guys, that's it really. Thanks so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Next time, if you daily wrestling news, subscribe to the channel, I greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.